I had a garage full of merch.
I remember that.
And
that was right when I left. Yeah.
And Ronnie was in jail. Robert and Brian quit the band. I felt like I was left on my own. I had no idea what I was going to do with the rest of my life or with anything at all. You know what I mean? Like, this person who I've basically lived with since the day I've met him, we've all this shit's gone on, and our relationship is not the same. He's in jail now. I don't know when he's coming out. I don't even know the true story about what happened yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm still like mind blown over this.
Yeah.
The rest of the band quits, and we get a call from our manager, and it's like, well, like, what are you gonna do? You know what I mean? Like, you can either stop or try and keep going. You know what I mean? And it was, and it was so hard because the only thing that rang in my mind was when we would be like homeless together, like because we didn't work any jobs or anything like that, because we always wanted to be available for band practice and shows and stuff.
Be easy on like the certain things, because I don't know if we get in trouble for saying that. Like the stuff that we did a long time ago. I don't know.
Yeah, I won't say that.
I don't know when that expires.
But like in my mind, all I can think of is like, when me and Ronnie would go around, it's like we'd always say we're a package deal.
Yeah.
We were told he was going to be in for 5 years.
Oh, wow.
Well, yeah, my sentence was 18 to 48 months, and we're all like layman to that law. I was like, 48 months, but I learned that that's not the case. You know what I mean? Overflow, like, and then you got good time. I got out.
And especially in the scene or whatever, how bands just like
disappear
and fall
Yeah.
off and whatever.
I
You don't know
mean,
if
we'd
you
only
come back
done
and
one
fix
record.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We had done our first record,
Yeah.
and so we were like, like,
You need a new singer. You needed a new
Oh.
singer. And back then I didn't understand it. And I hated everyone in the band. I hated everyone in the band because they talk shit about me on stage. But I understand because you guys are all little immature punks just like me. Dude, I would have probably did the same thing.
Well, you also had a lot to prove.
Well,
You had to
we
kind of
also
prove
had-
to the audience, like, we don't need that guy.
we also had
Yeah,
a lot of
exactly,
kids.
yes.
You should still do
Yeah, a lot of kids coming to shows being like, fuck you, fuck you. Da, da, da. It's like you don't know, like you don't know what's going on in here, dude.
Yeah.
Like you don't know what I'm thinking. Like I'm doing this to survive myself,
Yeah.
dude. You know what I mean? Like, what do you want me to do? You want to hear music? Do you
Yeah.
want to see me on
They
stage?
did.
It's like, what do
that's
you
what
want
they're-
me to do? And then it's like they don't understand that. They just want to come and hate or whatever else. So
And
they
I-
just want to form their opinion and run with it.
And I got nothing but respect for all the fans that did that. And no hard feelings, but thank you for having my back, guys, for doing that. But at the same time, but I was mad at them. Like, but I woke up and like, dude, I can't harbor this resentment. It is destroying me. And I harbored the resentment all the way from when I went in, all the way to when I got out of prison, to when I started getting, my band started getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I still was like, just mad and still mad and still mad. And then one day, I'm not even joking, I woke up and I'm like, it's gone. It went away. I don't know if my dad's praying for me, if there's a guy, it's whatever's happening, but it went away. And I just prayed that Max got sober. I always prayed that Max got sober, but this was like no hard feelings anymore,
Yeah. So, what was rock bottom? Like, where were you at when you were like, okay, this time, like, rehab for real?
I was living in Studio City, California, and I was living with my girlfriend. One of our friends came down from New York, and our drug dealer lived in our closet.
That guy sucks. I know who that is. His first name starts with an S, and his last name starts with an S, and he's a piece of crap. That's my. All you drug friends of his are not his friends, and stay away from him. That's my. Or I'll come for you, and I'll go back to jail. So, sorry.
And it was horrible. It was. I mean, you start looking at things in a whole different, because when you're in it, your mind is so clouded, and you have just a one-track mind. And you start looking at the things in your apartment as dollar signs instead of
Exactly.
your things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He's like, this My dad gave this to me for my birthday when I was 6. I need to sell this.
Yeah.
It's like, it doesn't matter anymore, man.
No.
That's disgusting, right?
Yeah, it is. It's
I wanna live like that,
ridiculous because it's like, I mean, you literally you're throwing your life away one piece at a time, and you start selling your soul. You know what I mean? You just become a shell of a person until one day you look in the mirror and you see just like a shell of what you used to be. You literally look like a skeleton, like someone off The Walking Dead. You know what I mean?
And at that point, are you pretty disconnected from what's happening as far as like Ronnie's success and ETF continuing on and stuff like that, or are you aware of that stuff as you're using and falling deeper?
Well, I was stoked when I left ETF because they got dropped from Interscope, so that stoked me out. But yeah, it was. But to tell the truth, it was a thing where like I was, I had met people, tried to start some new project or whatever else, and like I didn't want to think about. I didn't want to. I tried to stay off the internet. You know what I mean? Because it was like those things. Because I didn't want to face reality. I didn't want to face reality and go, I'm fucking up right now. You know what I mean? Because everything else around me would just make me mad and depressed. Denial. Because I couldn't snap myself out of it. You know what I mean? And that was like I didn't want to face the fact of like you're in too deep. You know what I mean? And that's what happens.
And once you get to that point, it's like might as well wake up and do another shot of heroin, because what am I gonna do if I don't? Right? What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
I'm already a loser. I might as well keep doing it one more day. Just one more day. Tomorrow. A year goes by. Tomorrow? You know what I mean? It's like, what? I don't want to, dude. I went on LA Inc. High as hell. Okay, LA Inc. YouTube it. Ridiculous, man. I got this tattoo.
I remember that day.
I walked into LA Inc. and it's on the internet and it's got like 1 million views and people think it's the funniest thing in the world. I went on LA Inc.
I'm only laughing because I was there.
He was there. So I went on LA Inc. Mind you, no disrespect to Kat Von D or anything, but I snorted drugs in their bathroom. I'm pretty sure that they knew that. Remember?
Yeah.
So Corey, he asked me, he's like, what do you want? I'm like, I want a Clydesdale. And he's like, why? He's like, because I had a Clydesdale when I was 5, and he died eating a piece of pizza out of the trash. He's like, what? He's like, you serious? I'm like, yeah. And Kermit the Frog's my favorite singer, so put him on top of him. What's his name? Butternuts. Put it above. Ahoy Butternuts. And that's how high I was. And they were laughing their ass off. And at the end of it, I was like, nah, I'm just kidding. And they're like, but you got a tattoo of it. And I'm like, I know. I want to remember this. Like, that's what you do.
That's what drugs does, kids. Don't do them.
Don't do drugs, man. I'm telling you. I'm not fucking McGruff, the crime-fighting dog or anything. But dude, just relax on
McGruff, the crime-fighting dog's outside.
Yeah, he's over there. But that's.
Ronnie reached out to me. He, I was talking to one of his friends at this party I was at, and I guess she knew who I was living with at the time. This dude named Brent. He's super solid. He's probably one of 2, 3 people counting Ronnie that I know in LA that are actually good people. You know what I mean? And that want me to be a good person.
Yeah.
And I guess she had got in touch with Brent. Said, well, Ronnie's trying to get a hold of Max. And he's like, well, I don't want to give Max's number out. I don't know how they haven't spoken or anything else like that. Just give him his email or whatever. I'm assuming. And I got an email from Ronnie, and I was like, well, how do I know this is really Ronnie?
Yeah.
You're like, well, let me drop a couple of.
Yeah. I sold my soul to the devil in your apartment.
And I was like, okay, what's up, dude?
Why don't you tell him about that story?
Yeah.
No one believes me. No one believes me what happened.
It happened. So we wanted to be famous, right?
I'm 17 years old. Want to be famous all the time. I'll let you tell the other half, but want to be famous. I made a draft of what was soon to be the contract for my soul to be sold to the satanic man, Lucifer.
And he rewrote it like a bunch of times, like make sure.
Rewrote it, blah blah blah, and the day came where I cut my finger and signed it in blood.
Signed it in blood.
What happened?
Right?
What happened though?
We're sitting in my mom's.
Before you go on, does Russell Radke know the story?
No, but no, he knows, but he does actually. He does. I'll tell you that. He's like,
I was
So
almost gonna stop you from telling you.
no, it's all right. It's all right.
here to Riders for Christ. You know?
No, he knows. He told me that once you ask God into your life, that it's no longer your soul, and made me feel a lot better because some weird shit was happening.
So
Continue.
yeah, so as he's doing this, we're in my mom's apartment, and
Sign it in blood.
I kid you not, dude. I kid you not, man. All of a sudden, the windows, everything, the shades start moving, whatever else. Red light starts shining in. The front door blows open. It's like whirlwind, like
Vegas-
surrounds our apartment, and then like door blows open, windows. Oh my god! You know what I mean? Like,
Literally.
And all of a sudden,
No, but
and it's done.
yeah, it's done. But the
And
thing
then-
about that is that I could tell you, Vegas has a lot of big dust devils.
Yeah.
But this one
No
was
pun intended.
Right.
really
That was the
big.
dust devil.
But it
Exactly,
made like red
no.
light shine in through the
The
windows.
red light is explained through the street light getting covered in dirt, and it turns red, or whatever, orangish red. But it was awfully strange.
Coincidental.
I don't know.
Let me just say, I'm the first to believe it because I believe in demonic
Yeah.
that exists, you know, and and then you invite that, it comes and finds you. But, and I have to say this just for the people watching at home, how high were you guys when that happened?
No, we weren't high those
So that's what everyone's
days.
gonna think.
No, we weren't.
You were high.
These were high school days.
Yeah.
We weren't getting high. There was no highness going on, you know, at all. Were you high?
No, I'm laughing because I'm thinking of the song we wrote about Carson
No,
Daly.
I don't want to. My dad will be mad. Don't sing that song. He will be mad if he hears that. Don't. This is off the record. We'll tell him. But.
So you guys started emailing, and what were the
Yeah.
I just
yeah, I
emailed
saw
him.
myself the devil in your apartment. Okay, it's definitely you.
Exactly. No, he's like, okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
and then
Yeah, and you know, I was like, well, hey man, you know, give me your phone number, let's talk or whatever, and I called him up, and he was just like, you know, telling me like, dude, you know, what are you doing? Like, you know, I know you're doing drugs. He's like, there's a few people in this world you can't bullshit, and that's me and your mom, dude. He's like, so don't lie to me and tell me that you're clean. You know, don't tell me you're getting clean, because I know you're not. And he was like, dude, and it's just, I mean, really, like, this was the thing that really, like, honestly, really, like, kind of made me make the decision to do what I'm doing right now. It's like, it helped me out, it gave me, like, the strength that he's like, dude, he's like, trust me, man. He's like, your life has not even begun yet, dude. He's like, you can choose to live. He's like, any day now. He's like, you really need to get out of this town, dude, and go get clean. He's like, I'm telling you, dude. He's like, you know all the shit that I've done, we've done together. He's like, I went to jail, man. He's like, and as soon as I got sober, he's like, my life, he's like, I started living, and my life turned around. He's like, that can happen for you, dude. He's like, he's like, you know,
Got me goosebumps.
it's like, I want to, you know, we wanted to, you know, he wanted to help me out and wanted me to be around again. And it's like that made me feel like, wow, you know, if Ronnie's willing to do this for me, like, you know what I mean? Like,
I feel like forgiveness, because you did some bad stuff to me. I did some bad stuff to you, and you did some stuff where I felt I was betrayed when I went to jail. And it's okay though. I feel like forgiveness is the best thing you can do, because it also helps. And like,
Yeah.
I'm tired of people hating on Max because he's not a bad person. He's not a bad person. He's not. And I made it out to be him to be a bad person because I was mad at him for making a decision, a collective decision to move on. And I made a song about him. And I didn't mean it. I meant some of it because it came. You could tell it's kind of emotional, but I don't ever want to see him die.
you know, you exaggerate it. Like,
Yeah.
That's
when you're arguing
understandable.
with somebody you really care
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
Yeah,
I don't want to
passion.
see. If he died, I'd be at his funeral and I'd go to jail because I'd be punching everybody in the face because
you
it'd probably
hurt
be all
the ones
these
you love.
drug addict people sitting in the front row weeping, pretending like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And that's
like
what-
it's not going to be their funeral next week.
Exactly, and they don't care about him, man. Where were they when he, you know what I mean, when he went to jail? Where were they when He needed them most. They're nowhere to be found.
They're out looking for drugs.
Exactly.
That's where they are.
You know, I feel like Max has an entity. He's an entity inside of him that the people that were around him aren't, and they drag him down. He has an energy like me. There's a star in him, and you have all these people around him that have been trying for years to be what he is, and you can't force it. Jay-Z, he walks into the room and that's what he is. That's what he is. So he has that. It's just buried. It was buried. And when we would go on stage together, it wasn't just me on stage. It was me and Max on stage. There was stars. There was stars. It was obvious, and my label saw it, and everybody saw it. And that's what the drug addicts around him didn't have and wanted. Yeah. And they would pull him down, just like me. They'd pull me down, and I see that. I know it. I see it from a mile away. I know what it is, and I just, he needs to be around people that have his best interest in mind, which is to remain sober, and to put. If you're not a part of the problem, you're a part of the solution. That's what I say. So that you don't. If you're not a part of the problem, you're part of the solution. It's that easy, you know.
So you get to Ohio.
Yeah.
How does that happen? Like, I mean, you got a dude living in the closet. Like, you're not. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like you got money to go fly yourself to Ohio.
I called. Our lease ran up in our apartment. My girlfriend and I, at the time, we had gone to Florida. I come back to Florida. I'm living with my buddy Brent. He's let me stay there, and you know, I had called my mom from an airport in Atlanta, and I was just in horrible pain. And I was just like thinking, like, I'm going back to LA. I've got no money. I've got no nothing. Like, how am I gonna get a hold of anyone right now? Like, where am I even gonna stay? Who's gonna pick me up? Like, what's going on? And I just called my mom, and I was like, and I'm sitting there freezing cold in this Atlanta, Georgia airport. It's raining outside, and I'm like, I'm like smoking a million cigarettes, and I'm like, nothing makes me feel good. I buy some NyQuil, and I'm like taking all these NyQuil tablets to like try and like pass out through the pain and whatever else, and like nothing is working, and everyone's like, every little noise is just like, sounds like someone screaming in your ear, and I was like, I just hit rock bottom.
Yeah.
In an airport in Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah.
Time to call my mom. Time to call my family. Time to call the few people that I know that love me. You know what I mean? That actually love me. Have, you know, like Ronnie was saying, like people that have your best interests in mind. And I just call my mom, and she's like, "Oh, well, what are you doing in Atlanta, Georgia? You're supposed to be in Florida for another 4 days." Well, Mom. You know, because I've always been honest with my mom. I always told her, like, you know, I partied and stuff like that. And I just never told her how much, you know. And then I just finally came clean with everything, and was like, you know, I need some help. And so I finished my flight to LA, was there for 2 or 3 days. No, I was there for about a week. And I talked to Ronnie a few times while my mom worked out, you know, getting a plane ticket for me home with my dad. And you know, I made the decision, and I was like, this is what I'm gonna do. And like I said, like talking to Ronnie, you know, on the phone and emails, like helped give me like hope again for something, because I hadn't, you know, talked to anyone. I hadn't talked to anyone but losers, but you know, people that are drug dealers that just drive around the town slinging. Yeah. And it's just like, you know, this is the one person I've known the longest out of everyone. You know what I mean?